"Oh my god, darling, but you're divine. I'm sure you'll think of something." Those were her words, and that was it. I painted myself as Jesus. I was homeless by the end of the week. Never ask your landlady for advice on what to draw for a self-portrait, especially if she's into some sort of "let's save the world" religion. Those based on catchy songs with heroes dressed in suits and a disturbingly clean image, shouting through a microphone. People trust them too much. For me, seeing them is like walking into a surgery room. Yes, you know it's clean, but there's something not so pleasing about to happen. You know that cleanliness is hiding messy events, metal and blood. Maybe to cure, but disgustingly visceral in the process. The followers always judging and pointing their fingers towards you, as if by doing this they were the heroes themselves. Always blind to the sharp, curved claw at the end of that finger, a claw that points back. The rumbling in my head as I walked towards the bus stop with my gigantic bag of clothes bouncing on my back, propelling me to whatever was going to happen next, which was certainly completely uncertain. Well, not really. My situation, young, girl, self-sufficient, not in my country, no options. Like Cheerios for a meal and no milk in the fridge. Shit. The bus arrived. I stepped inside. With my bag at my feet, a question assaulted me.
Moving day, hey?
No, Fokker, I just took my clothes out for a walk, I thought. Yeah, I said. Fake smile, dry answer.
Where are you planning to stay now?
I don't know. Shit, I really didn't know. Reality and its sudden asphyxiating embrace. He started babbling about his perfect family house and the room they had for rent. What a student would want really meant what a student could afford. He offered to let me look at the place and to maintain the rent I was paying for my last room, and why not? I accepted. We got off at the next stop. The walk from there to his house was eternal. His words, like deep echoed sounds, made it seem like it. And he could have been a killer, a rapist, a door-to-door salesman, but no, he was not. We got to the house. The door slammed behind me. Closing and closing numbering sounds. Children singing to a piano melody. It was my savior, my lord. My eyes static, my lips tight. A woman calling everyone for dinner from the kitchen. The music stopped. 4 elves ran out of the living room. The woman appeared. She was surprised by the unexpected guest. Me. I said I was only there to see the room. She didn't seem to listen. She insisted in having me for dinner. And then she called. "Lance!" A needle piercing through my eardrums, me holding my bag as if it had my mother inside. Then a distant reply that gradually became closer.
"I'm coming, Mom. I'm just keeping the piano songs."
The speaker appeared walking out from the living room. It was a girl, about my age. She shook my hand and asked if I was staying with them. Fast assumption, I thought. No time for my denial. My teeth almost screeching. I dropped my bag as a ship drops an anchor. I ended up sitting by the table with the entire family. The smallest kid, sitting by my side, turned his head, and with that chipmunk voice he started saying,
"Hi, I'm Charles, and guess what? Today is my turn to say thank you for the food that God has given to us."
That was scary. Brainwashed kids are always scary. His mother showed me her teeth. Oh no, she was smiling. I talked about my art student status. They talked about miracles and Daddy's new truck. Later, I finally explored the entire house. Framed prayers and smiling family photos. The untarnished wallpaper. This was a surgery room.
You can have a test week, and if we are both comfortable, you may stay as long as you wish.
I had no place to go. Do we ever really get to choose? It's always circumstantial. Yo wrote down a receipt for the deposit I gave him. I was sure it wouldn't last long, but I had dropped the anchor. A door knocked that night. Nance.
"Hi, may I come in?"
Sure. It's kind of late, but sure, come in. She seemed to be a very quiet girl, very polite and very similar to her mother as far as I could tell.
"I couldn't sleep and I saw your light on, so I decided to come by and chat a bit."
Horizontals in my face. I stared at her.
"I see you're not unpacking."
That's because I'm leaving soon, I said.
"You are lazy, aren't you?"
What was this girl telling me? She continued talking.
You feel threatened and you run.
Were you up this late to come and tell me this? I asked. She didn't listen.
Do you smoke?
No, I don't smoke anything.
How come? You're an artist.
Well, you're a church girl and you're not fucking the priest, are you?
Fuck you.
Well, if your insomnia is that bad, then go and take a ride in Daddy's new car. But please don't come here to pour your stress on me. I'll be out by tomorrow.
Oh, Daddy's car. First is religion and now money. If you have any solution to anything you're complaining about, then do something.
She almost spit the word do on my face. She continued vomiting words.
That's why people like you are clowns, noisy and entertaining. But at the end, tell me, who is the power, the house, the job? Listen to me. You might have the eye to spot an imperfection, some guts to point it out, but you're just too afraid to do something.
Okay, señorita. Thank you for this midnight moral lecture. Now please leave the room. I could almost hear my eardrums thanking me for the second of silence my voice opened.
I was leaving already, but just ask yourself, what's worse, to live in ignorance or to ignore what you were seeing? Oh, and by the way, a new car is not a blessing. You know what it said about old men and new trucks.
What?
They had 2 inches to their penis.
That wasn't funny coming from her.
This house is not what you think. We'll talk some other time.
She shut the door. I didn't leave the next morning. I went through the week observing how slowly the polish wiped out. I was being fed. Food filled my belly. Ideas filled my mind. Third day. The smile on Mother Nancy was so forced that the lines on her face showed the threads of her permanent mask. Fourth day. I was invited to go to church and declined politely. Fifth night. Nance came up to my room.
Dad's having an affair.
She said. Then she cried.
With a woman from the church.
Then I almost laughed. The perfect structure proving itself wrong. Sixth morning. I walked down for breakfast. I saw a deserted battle camp. Irony, I thought, with half a smile. Some wrinkled sheets of paper pulled my eyes. My lips ran back to horizontal. Let's bring him back to the arms of God program record? My name underneath it. And sentences like accepts food or refuses to join us in church under titles like Day 1, Day 2. I stood stiff. The walls laughed out loud at me. Seventh day, I wrote a note to Nancy. Church had been the perfect excuse for my father to maintain an affair. And then, it served as a refugee to my mother when they divorced, bringing her some comfort and love and taking all the money in the way. We are all dancing. And after that, the bouncing back again. I was part of the dance. I had always been. These people needed me to show the contrast between us. I needed them to justify my morals. None was right. Maybe all of my rage and criticism wasn't based in morals after all, but in personal worth. We were all wearing masks. Some people smoked crack, some others smoked God, and I was just smoking along. I can change the world, but I might understand it a little bit better. Self-help books, religion, even love and sex, political postures and antagonists, crack or money, they all dim the light of personal pursuit and purpose. They give us a reason to live. There is always a category to justify our behavior. It's fun to hang the blame on our past, on somebody else. And if we don't know how to do it, there would always be someone to go to have it done for us. Psychologists or priests. We're all dancing along through time.